In our Sunrise Smart Start this morning, police in Irondequoit need your help after someone put hateful flyers that targeted Jewish folks throughout neighborhoods.
All happened over the weekend. Jatira Marsh joins us now to share what members of the local Jewish Federation and neighbors there have to say. Jatira.
Irondequoit police shared that this investigation took place along Spencer Road after multiple flyers were discovered. Leaders, a part of the Jewish Federation, aren't surprised by this bigotry, saying it's on the rise. Their concern is the group that may be behind it. Each flyer showed pictures of well-known Jewish figures and blamed them for a number of problems in the world. Members of the Jewish Federation believe the flyers are intended to recruit members and spark division. Research from the Anti-Defamation League shows in 2021, the U.S. had over 2,700 anti-Semitic incidents reported, the most in 40 years. Irondequoit police called the flyers recovered off of Spencer Road concerning, and one neighbor assured the neighborhood will not tolerate their bigotry.
It's not liked in our area. We've been over here for like 4 or 5 years. Never had an issue. Everybody's saying it's getting bad around here, but everybody pretty much band together, so I was a little saddened to see.
Town Supervisor Rory Fitzpatrick called this an unfortunate incident, adding, "This is very disturbing. Irondequoit is proud of the diverse makeup of our town. We welcome from all walks of life." Mel, Brennan, back to you.
All right, thank you, Jatira, for that. Leaders with the Jewish Federation here in Rochester, that chapter ad, if you see someone out with the flyers, don't engage with them, call police immediately. And we also want to use this moment, they say, to unite by knowing that we have more strength together than our differences.
Following the death of a 1-year-old boy last week in Rochester, ruled a homicide, first responders are reiterating the importance of mental health resources for those responding to tragedies.
Pittsford Ambulance Service is among those requiring each paramedic and EMT to go through a debrief after coming back from a critical call. The chief, Jonathan Smith, says this can become a challenge, though, over time, but remaining dedicated is critical to his crew being able to help others.
We've often thought that that's a part of the job, right? And talking with someone about it that says that you're not tough enough to handle it. I think especially within the last 10 years for sure, the last 10 years and certainly the last 5 years for sure, we've seen a significant shift in recognizing in the EMS community that we have to have a better system for helping folks when they need it.
Also heard from members of the Rochester Police Union sharing the same sentiment, saying many of the same officers end up facing very serious calls. Protests here in Rochester and all over the country in recent days demanding justice for Tyre Nichols. This after video was released last week showing 5 Memphis police officers brutally beating him at a traffic stop. He died 3 days later. A local demonstration organized by the Justice for Tyre Rock Coalition took place yesterday. The coalition is advocating for a systemic change in policing across the country, likening Nichols' death to the death of Daniel Prude.
It was unnecessary. It was unnecessary for someone to be beat like that and have no cause, you know, unnecessary. If someone's doing a crime, there's still no reason for them to be beat like that. You know, there's a reason that we have a judicial system. Now the trust in the community that we're trying to build is going to make it that more fractured now, because the good cops that are coming into our communities, we're going to have a fear of them because of the bad cops.
A candlelight vigil will be held for Tyre Nichols on Wednesday at MLK Park. The suspect in Friday night's homicide in the city pleaded not guilty yesterday to charges of murder and criminal possession of a weapon. Police say Robert Bloomfield shot and killed Earl Thomas during an argument at the gas station on Culver and Merchants. Bloomfield's next court date is on Thursday.
Police tell us they were able to step in and stop 4 teens from stealing a Hyundai here in Rochester last night. The suspects, police say, arrived on South Union Street in another Hyundai stolen that same morning. When officers got there to the second call, the suspects crashed into parked cars, including a police cruiser. All 4 were then detained.
All right, let's check in now with meteorologist James Gilbert. James, maybe we're heading out the door this morning for a run. Maybe we're taking the dog out for a little morning walk. What should we be wearing?
I think bundling up is probably a good idea, maybe an extra layer, but really not too bad. You know, it's seasonal, late January chill. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Mid-20s, sunrise at 7:28, mostly cloudy skies, and a couple of flakes flying around here and there. So I don't think you need your boots quite yet, but if you are leaving for the day, you might want to have the boots with you because we've got snow showers as we get into the afternoon that I expect to put a dusting maybe to an inch or so on the ground. Watching some lake effect that develops tonight, though. We'll highlight that with the 8-day forecast at the end of the show. Mel, how are the roads looking right now?
Roads are still looking pretty good out there this morning, James. No new accidents to tell you about. 390, 490, and 590 are all running on time. We do have updates for you until 8:30 this morning, so if anything changes, we will, of course, let you know.
Looking ahead, happening in just a couple of hours, this community comes together to say a final goodbye to Bishop Matthew Clark.
Clark served as the former head of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Rochester, having spent more than 3 decades as bishop before retiring at the required age of 75. His funeral is scheduled for noon at Sacred Heart Cathedral in Rochester. Public visitations are being held there from 10 to 11:30 this morning. Another public visitation was hosted yesterday afternoon, as well as an evening prayer service, during which Father Joseph Hart, pastor of Our Lady Queen of Peace and St. Thomas More parishes, delivered the sermon.
So tonight we gather to begin the handing over process. Handing over to God our beloved brother and accompanying him with our prayers.
We will have much more coverage on Bishop Clark's funeral throughout the day right here on News 8.
Also today, closing arguments tracking those in the trial over the Brighton Whole Foods saga. They'll start this morning. The controversial project, years in the making, had multiple lawsuits thrown in its path. Most of those have already been thrown out. This trial here is focused on the last remaining lawsuit. It's tied to a trail running behind the plaza there at Monroe Avenue. Should the final lawsuit be tossed as well, the developer, the Daniellis, hope to open the store next month. County Executive Adam Bello has extended the deadline for fire protection and emergency service providers to apply for help under the American Rescue Plan Act. The deadline is now set for February 10th. The extension was New Year's Eve before he did this. Eligible groups include many fire protection services, teams for certified ambulance, and advanced life support first responders.
Speaking of County Executive Bello, he has formally announced he is running for re-election. Bello kicked off his 2023 campaign on Saturday, highlighting accomplishments of his first term and his plans for the next 4 years. In a statement, Bello says his administration's focus is on bettering the local economy and lessening the burden on taxpayers. His opponent, Republican Mark Cassini, responded, saying he looks forward to having an open conversation with voters about problems our community faces and his plans to fix them.
Here's what a lot of people are going to be talking about around the water cooler this morning. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. They'll square off in this year's Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. After the NFL's conference championship games wrapped up yesterday, fans in Philly took to the streets, showing their enthusiasm for their team. Some even started to climb the street lamps. They greased those before all this happened. And here's a look at the moment fans in Kansas City started to party. It's the Eagles and the Chiefs, the showdown coming up Sunday, February 12th.
Just burning a little bit more of a hole in our hearts that it's not the Bills.
I know.
What are you going to do?
I guess they'll cheer for the Eagles. I don't know, James.
Yeah, they're closest to us, right?
Right, yeah. I'd go for the Eagles, I guess, right? East Coast there. But I think it should be a good game overall. They got 2 weeks of rest before Super Bowl Sunday. Snow accumulation 2 to 4 inches north of Rochester, and then that's over into Wayne County. There's even a winter weather advisory. Tough travel maybe along 104 as you get into tonight and tomorrow. But overall, the 8-day forecast story here is the cold air. A couple of blasts. First one is tonight, especially as we get into Tuesday afternoon. The wind starts to pick up. We'll have overnight lows in the teens there. Then we see a little bit of a warm up into Thursday. Then maybe some of the coldest air we'll have all year, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
It looks like a typo, but it's not, just because it's for 2 days at the end of the week. All right, thank you, James, and thank you so much for watching us here, News 8 at Sunrise.
Our next update is coming up in 30 minutes. CBS Mornings is up next. Have a great day, everybody.
Follow News 8 wherever you are on RochesterFirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.